In this quick video, we are going to see how simple it is to use the API to load data into Picker. In this video, we are going to demonstrate how to do all this in just a few steps. Let's start by designing the page using the arrow icon to navigate to the next page. You can change its styles and properties according to your needs. Next, let's use the text component. It is just like a label to display the text on the page. We can change the styles and properties to our liking, just like before. No need to repeat the same process. We can just clone it as many times as we require. Now, I'm going to demonstrate how to design a page using Pickers. I'm using two Pickers and one image component. Data will automatically load in Picker 1, but in Picker 2 and the image component, data will filter according to the selection. To load data into the Picker, we need to create a new connector by selecting the API service. I'm going to select API service and give the connector a name. Next, I'm opening the Swagger API to obtain the base URL of the data. As you can see, it only takes a few clicks to obtain the base URL. Once you have the base URL, you can paste it here and save the connector. The next step is to choose the connector to configure the API. My API's method name is CategoryMaster. I'm just pasting it here and giving the display name. Now, let's define the source value in the header, and we must provide the authorization token and value to access the API. Now we have connected the data. So, I'm assigning it to the model. The model serves as the communication pipeline. After generating the model, remember to save the API connection. Next, let's map the data source to the Picker. Select the service, then select the name and value field to link the data. If you use AutoBind, the data will be loaded automatically. We have connected data to Picker 1. So let's save and publish the app. After that, you can install the app by scanning the QR code using your smartphone. Once downloaded, install the APK file and open the app. As you can see, the data is loaded into Picker 1 when the page is loaded. Now let's connect the data to Picker 2. As we did for Picker 1, open the Swagger API and execute the data to get the endpoint URL. Next, I'm going to create a source for Picker 2. I'm adding the endpoint URL of ItemMaster and configuring the API as we did for Picker 1. Define the source value, authorization token, and value as well. After doing all these, we have to choose the model type and give a name to the model to complete the API configuration. You can find the generated source listing here. As you know, the following step is to choose Picker 2 and link the data to it. So, I'm selecting the ItemMaster API service and linking the data by choosing the name and value field to complete the data connection process. Next, we need to load the fruit data into Picker 2 based on the fruit category selected in Picker 1. Let's design the logic using smart code and define the method, model, bind type, and method, data source name, and destination model. Finally, apply the filter condition. If Picker 1 matches the selected category code, the data will be loaded into Picker 2. Based on the selected item, we need to load the fruit image. Let's open Smart Code, establish a process, and define the method, the control name of the image component, and the control name of Picker 2 to carry out this event. After defining the method, save it. We're done creating events for Pickers, so the next step is to save and publish the app to see how it works. After publishing, install and open it on your smartphone. As you can see, Picker 2 has loaded its items after choosing the fruit category, and the image loaded after choosing the item. Now we are going to see how to load data from the API filter. Let's open the Swagger API and provide an expression for the item master and execute it to get the endpoint URL. Data will be filtered based on the given expression. The received endpoint URL will now be used. As before, configure the API. After that, we need to copy the expression and paste it in the parameter area. Now that we have defined the source value in the header, we need to provide the authentication token and value to access the API. As before, create a model and save it. Next, let's select Picker 2 and link the data by providing the name and value field as before. Finally, why are we deselecting AutoBind? Based on the mentioned category, we are sending that to the database and bringing data here. Now we are going to use SmartCode to map the variable to the API parameter and load the data into Picker 1. Let's design the logic, add the variable name and type, and provide the default value. Data will load in Picker 1 based on the category code supplied. Next, we are going to select Picker 2 and assign the page variable and value. As a result of this step, the items will load into Picker 2 based on a fruit category selected. Next, we need to bind the data of Picker 1 by adding the setDataBinding method, so that whenever the user selects a fruit category, the API will be called and load the data that matches the category into Picker 2. Next, we need to load the fruit image based on the selected item. To execute this event, let's open SmartCode, establish a process, and specify the method, the control name of the image component, and the control name of Picker 2. After defining the method, save it. The next step is to save and publish the app so that we can test it out. After publishing, wait for the build process to complete. And then, install the app by scanning the QR code. Now that the installation process is complete, let's open and check. As you can see, the items are loaded based on the selected fruit category, and the image is loaded based on the selected item. It's working well.